This just in. Kevin Durant, he wants to be a New York Knick. We're going to break that down as ESPN reported that bombshell news. So let's talk about it. Before we do, though, actually, I want to ask you this question. Do you want Kevin Durant on the Knicks? It kind of seems like the New York Knicks may be on the outside looking in for the Kevin Durant sweepstakes, but it's not because Kevin Durant doesn't want to be here. Welcome in to New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am Marshall Green, and Kevin Durant sounds like he wants to be a member of the New York Knicks. Mark J. Spears of ESPN said KD wanted the New York Knicks. He wanted to go there, but the Knicks have no interest in bringing him in at this time. And honestly, I have a lot of takeaways and a lot of thoughts about this. And if you've been watching this channel over the past couple of weeks, you know I want the New York Knicks to go out and pursue Kevin Durant because I think trading for Kevin Durant right now elevates your championship chances for the 2025-2026 season. I think my main takeaway was that this feels like a James Dolan thing. This feels like James Dolan does not want Kevin Durant to be a member of this organization. And it's because of his ego, and it's because of his pride, and it's because Kevin Durant somewhat made the Knicks look like fools back in the summer of 2020 when the Knicks put a full-court press onto Durant in NBA free agency, where they tried to sign Durant, and they tried to sign Kyrie Irving. Not only did KD choose another team over the Knicks, which I'm sure Dolan did not love, he chose the team in the same city. He chose the Brooklyn Nets over the New York Knicks. And we all remember what Durant said. The New York Knicks are not cool anymore. And I feel like James Dolan did not forget that. And he is definitely one to hold grudges. I think we all know that. We also know that Kevin Durant's agent, Rich Kleiman, is a huge New York Knicks fan. And Kevin Durant's agent wanted him to sign with the Knicks more than anything back in the summer of 2020. And it sounded like Durant was really, really close, and that Kleiman almost got him to do it. And there's been blogs and podcasts and reports that Kleiman thought Durant was going to do it. But then he had a change of heart, and he wanted to go to Brooklyn with Kyrie Irving. Is James Dolan back? Is he back sitting at the negotiation table and the decision-making table? And is he running the show? Because we all saw the reports came out that James Dolan spearheaded the players' exit meetings and that he was the one asking the questions about should the Knicks fire Tom Thibodeau. And there's a belief out there that Dolan was the main reason that Thibodeau was fired. And I don't know that 100% to be true, but I don't think a reporter would put their credibility on the line and say that Dolan was spearheading the decisions if he wasn't at least a part of them. Maybe he stretched the truth, but I don't think he'd put his reputation in lie out there like that. And it sounds like Dolan might be making decisions. But I also believe that if Leon Rose was unable to do the things he wanted because of Dolan, he would just quit. So I go back and forth on that. I just want James Dolan out of the picture. I don't want Dolan making decisions. I don't want his opinions really to be weighed in any sort of swinging of thoughts of Leon Rose or World Wide West. Go build another sphere. Go build one. You did one in Vegas. Go overseas and do it. Go do something else and stop trying to put your fingerprints back on the Knicks, because the Knicks are the Knicks of today because you went MIA and you let Leon Rose do what he did. So don't come back now that it's hot and try to do your thing, because we've seen what happens when Dolan makes the decisions. I truly do believe if the New York Knicks trade Karl Anthony Towns for Kevin Durant, I believe they become NBA Finals favorites. Not contenders, NBA Finals favorites. So I believe if you surround Brunson with Durant and Anunoby and Bridges and Robinson and Hart and McBride and a second-year Kolek, second-year Huck Porty, a taxpayer mid-level exception guy, a couple of veteran minimum guys that would love to join a championship favorite New York Knicks team, you would be closer to putting a banner in the rafters at Madison Square Garden than you would be if you ran back the crew from last year. I'll expand my thoughts on that, but make sure you are subscribed because if the Knicks make a move, we make a video. If Kevin Durant becomes a Knick, we're going live on the channel. We're your one-stop shop for everything New York Knicks this offseason. So subscribe and give us a shot. I tweeted this out a couple of days ago, or I guess it was yesterday, when it was reported that Kevin Durant wanted the New York Knicks to trade for him. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Kevin Durant, Mitchell Robinson win the NBA Finals next year. I truly believe that. I think if you could put together two of the best half-court scorers in the NBA, and Brunson and Anunoby, with three of the better defenders in the NBA of Bridges, Anunoby, and Robinson, and you still have Hart, you still have McBride, and you still have other ways to add to this team, you're in a better spot to win the NBA Finals right now than you would be if you ran back the starting lineup of Brunson, Bridges, Hart, Anunoby, and Towns. Like, I understand the idea that you don't trade a 29-year-old star in Karl Anthony Towns for a 36-year-old star in Kevin Durant. I get that. But what are we trying to do? Are we trying to win a title right now, or are we trying to be in hopes of winning a title? Because if you trade for KD, you're winning a title. I truly, truly believe that. There's not many players on this earth that have ever scored 26.6 points per game and 4.2 assists on better than 52.5% from the field and shooting 43% from three. And for the narrative out there, Marshall, he does not play games. But Marshall, he's always hurt. We played 75 games last year. You only play 82 games. He played 62 games a year. 2 years ago, he played 75 games. This year, he played 62 games. So he's missed 13 games in each season over the last 2 years. That seems like the guy's been able to stay pretty healthy to me. Has he had injury issues in the past? Absolutely. But the last 2 years, he's been relatively healthy. Everything, well, Marshall, he's declining. He's not the same player. How about you go try to play in Phoenix and see what happens? Situations around players can either bring the best out of you or the worst out of you. And if the worst out of Kevin Durant is 26, 5, and 5 on 53% from the field, yeah, I want that guy on my team. The New York Knicks struggled in the playoffs because they had nobody else they could legitimately rely on consistently to score buckets in the fourth quarter. Or someone take the pressure off of Jalen Brunson. Someone to handle the ball. Someone to generate offense for themselves consistently. Cat did it occasionally. Not enough, in my opinion. If you have Kevin Durant next to Jalen Brunson and you're trying to close games out, the other teams are going to be in a world of trouble because they are two of the best self-creators in the half court in the NBA right now. And I want to go back to what Leon Rose told you and what Leon Rose told me when he fired Tom Thibodeau. Our organization is singularly focused on winning a championship for our fans. If you mean that, which I hope you do, and you're not lying to all the fans, you would go make another championship move, which I believe would be trading for Kevin Durant. Because if you're singularly focused on winning a championship, the only championship move you can make can not only be firing Tom Thibodeau, because what are you doing to improve the roster? You're saying the only reason we didn't win was because of Tom Thibodeau. And I think even the biggest Tom Thibodeau haters in the world would agree there are other reasons why the Knicks didn't win the NBA Finals this year. So go make another move to win the NBA Finals. Because firing Thibodeau is not the only thing that needs to be done to do so. Why I trade for KD is because I think you have a better chance to win the finals right now. Like, I think your starting lineup becomes better. You don't sacrifice your depth. You get a better player next to Brunson. Like, is Cat going to be better in 5 years? Yes. Who's better right now? There is not one GM in the NBA that would take Karl Anthony Towns in a game tomorrow over KD. And also, championship windows are never as big as you think. You got to capitalize on Jalen Brunson's prime. I think trading for KD does that. It also gets you out of the Karl Anthony Towns business. I like Cat. I don't know if I love Cat. I think Cat's a good player. I'm not sure if Cat is a great player. I also know Cat is not worth $63 million. And Cat is extremely expensive. And it gets you out of that business. And if you trade Cat for KD, you, one, push all your chips on the table to win the title next year, but you also find yourself in a position next summer where you may be able to launch a soft rebuild because Kevin Durant would be off the salary cap books. Mitchell Robinson is off the salary cap books. And Mikal Bridges is off the salary cap books. And you would have north of $60 million of projected cap space. You would have a lot of money to go out and add other players to this roster, to be under the first apron, to make trades. And you would get to rebuild around Jalen Brunson. And you also get to strike while the East is open. The Bucks are irrelevant. Damian Lillard is hurt. He's not playing next year. The Magic also just got better, and they're only going to keep getting better and better and better. And the injuries in Boston speak for themselves. They may be tanking next year. I make the move because I'm trying to win a championship. And I question if Brunson and Cat can win a championship. I think they can. I don't know that they can. I worry about the defense. I worry about your two best players not being good defenders. Kevin Durant could still defend at a decent-ish level, and he's an underrated rim protector at this point, and he's got championship pedigree. He's got a championship mind. Dude's a sicko. He loves basketball. Just don't know if it's going to happen at this point. Overall, this is how I approach the Kevin Durant situation. What is the goal? Are you trying to give yourself the best chance to win one championship, or are you trying to give yourself a chance to have a 3 to 4 year window? Because if you trade for KD, you're maximizing your chances to win a title right now. If you trade for Cat, you're just keeping your window open a little bit longer. And I think we all agree the Knicks need to make a pretty big move to win a championship if you keep Karl-Anthony Towns on this team. So I've presented all my thoughts. I've presented all the information. Do you want KD on the Knicks? Would you trade Cat for KD? Type Y for yes. Type M for no. Look, I get why anyone would say no, but I also completely understand why anyone would say yes. I would do it. So I think it makes you the best team in the NBA. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. We're all watching the NBA Finals. We all saw Jalen Williams score 40. SGA was just the MVP. SGA just led the league in scoring. Sometimes you got to have two guys that can go out and have big-time moments in big-time games. And we've seen KD do that, I think, a time or two for the Golden State Warriors.